In 2023, youth unemployment in China hit 21.3%. A number so high it made global headlines. But what about 2024 or 2025? Well, we don't really know because China simply stopped reporting it. But that's not a China story, it's a global one. In Japan, now there's more than 1 million hikikomori, a term used for young adults who have stepped completely outside the workforce. And while Japan's hikikomori crisis is often seen as uniquely Japanese, the symptoms are now appearing in South Korea, the US, and Europe, where the job market isn't just failing to hire young people, but breaking them.
The unemployment rate for new college grads has recently surged, and some economists say businesses are now replacing entry-level jobs with artificial intelligence.
22-year-old Michael Macaluso just earned his degree in mechanical engineering, but this summer he's back helping manage his hometown pool.
Any expectations about what the job market would be like when you graduated?
I was told by a lot of people that I was going to get a job right out of college, and then all of a sudden there's no jobs.
In Italy or Spain, 1 in 4 young people are now unable to find work. In the US, entry-level job postings fell nearly 30% in 1 year. In South Korea, a number of people with a university degree unable to find a job number is so high that there's a new term that emerged, sampo generation. A generation that gave up on dating, marriage, and children. Not because of culture, but because life feels too economically hopeless to support them. And behind these statistics, there's something even more worrying. So, in this video, I will explain why college degrees are losing their power, why entry-level jobs are disappearing, and why the hell hiring requirements are rising faster than people can actually keep up. But most importantly, at the end of all my videos, I will always offer a solution. I'll tell you how I think you should take matters into your own hands without blindly trusting the system and just becoming another part of these awful statistics.
A bunch of guys in suits who all went to college, you're fine.
Yeah, because they read a bunch of words. I've lived a bunch of life.
Just a decade ago, a bachelor's degree almost guaranteed you a job. And in June 2010, the unemployment rate for those who were holding a degree was only 7.1%, while those without a degree had 16.2%, which obviously is a huge gap. And here's exactly why. So from 2000 to 2021, the number of Americans with a bachelor's degrees jumped by 80%. And when millions of students flooded the labor market, a college degree became the new minimum and not a competitive edge it once was.
Professional resume, athletic and special skills resume, and Dwight Schrute trivia.
By 2020, 41% of recent graduates in the US were working jobs that didn't even require a degree, which I think is just insane. Major employers started removing degree requirements altogether. Google, Apple, IBM, Bank of America, gone. Bye-bye and sayonara. Numbers of listings requiring degrees started dropping. Why? Because employers realized a degree doesn't guarantee skills anymore. Experience does. In 2017, a Gallup poll found only 13% of Americans strongly agreed that college grads were well prepared for success in the workplace. So to stand out, now you're expected to have real work experience, a portfolio.
Vast experience in all aspects of video production.
Well, sir, for the past 7 years, I've been producing original video content for YouTube.
And as experience became the new currency, internships became as competitive as full-time roles once were. And what's even crazier, even the internships whose main goal is to give you your first hands-on experience now requires exactly that experience. Just think about how much of the world changed in the last 4 years. People that just graduated this year started their degrees in the world still without ChatGPT. And I know I'm only talking about the US, where universities are overpriced but still flooded, but there are countries where the situation is even worse. One of the clearest early warning signs came from, can you guess it? South Korea, a country that built itself out of nothing in the last 70 years, now having the most educated young population in the world, with over 70% of people in their 20s holding a university degree, which is much higher than the US, UK, or Germany. On paper, it could look like a success story, but there's one issue. A country that became so globally known in the last 10 years, a country that built the world's most educated youth, didn't provide enough places where to put them afterwards. Through the 2010s, Korea entered what researchers politely call a structural hiring freeze, where the economy simply wasn't creating enough professional roles to absorb the tidal wave of graduates entering the market. In some years, 80% of college graduates were actively job hunting, while only 30% of available jobs actually required a degree.
All right. Name. Dwight Schrute. Thank you, Mr. Schnute. We will let you know.
And the rest ended up unemployed or overqualified, stuck in unstable contract work, or doing jobs that never needed university in the first place. On paper, Korea's youth unemployment rate doesn't look that dramatic, but a number hides the truth. A degree doesn't guarantee anything anymore. Not stability, not opportunity, not a future. COVID. A time when the cities turned quiet. Lives that were just accelerating like crazy now suddenly stopped. And I'll be honest, there's a part of me that still misses it. Of course, it was super scary. We had no idea when it's going to go away. Social life, travel stopped. But when I now remember that strange, weird calm, that feeling that for once you were not expected to rush, you could take things slow without feeling late or guilty because the whole world stopped with us. On the other side, many businesses that relied on physical traffic had to shut their doors. Restaurants that got completely reliant on deliveries, and many of them went dark. But what about companies that don't really need people coming in and out to make money? Companies that work in tech, marketing, they just went remote. And that single shift triggered something that was already coming sooner or later. Because once companies realized they could operate just as fine with everyone working remote, they also realized something else. If the job is remote, do we still need to hire someone from the same city? What about another country? Why pay someone in New York $60,000 when someone in Manila or Sao Paulo or Vilnius can do the same role for 15? And so, one of the most brutal hiring advantages in history happened. A truly global talent pool. Customer support roles that were already heavily outsourced now were outsourced even more.
Okay.
Now even creative roles became global, engineers being hired from Eastern Europe, Latin America, or Asia. When the global hiring market opened up so wide, it became almost as easy to onboard a contractor from another continent as it was to hire someone from 2 subway stops away. A paper written by a senior economist, Steen Broeke, confirms it, stating that the second half of the 20th century was characterized by a growing integration of the global economy. As part of this globalization, firms restructure their operations internationally through the outsourcing and offshoring of their activities. So, before 2020, a job in Berlin mostly went to someone from Berlin, and a job in LA mostly went to someone from LA. After 2020, a job in Berlin might go to someone in New Delhi, while a job listed in London might just happen to go to someone in Nairobi, and a job in LA might go to someone in Buenos Aires. Now, imagine yourself being a fresh graduate in London. You're competing for an entry-level marketing position with your peers who also just graduated. But that's not it. You're also competing with people that already have experience and live in places like India, Brazil, Romania, South Africa, Mexico, or Serbia. People who can do the same job perfectly for the fraction of a cost. In an article written by Wall Street Journal, it states that this is how companies responded to labor shortages and rising wages. But today, I'll leave you to decide.
Of artificial intelligence.
Of artificial intelligence.
Which is increasingly doing tasks that used to be assigned to entry-level workers.
Okay, now let's move on to more recent events. It's November 30th. A company called OpenAI dropped something that changed the world forever. With no industry or company left untouched again. There were no screaming headlines, no alarms went off, but something changed. Hello, ChatGPT. Our biggest fan, so positive that it will never miss a chance to compliment your amazing ideas and thinking. At first, it felt like a toy, an experiment, a cool new link you can send to your friends. Then, people started comparing it to the internet. And while that comparison makes sense. There's one huge difference. Because look, when the internet arrived, yeah, it was huge, but it created jobs, a massive amount of jobs. But when AI arrived, it erased the bottom of the career ladder, and it happened fast. 300 million jobs were exposed, and junior roles started vanishing. You see, that's the problem. AI didn't just kill jobs, it killed the first jobs. Junior tasks used to be research, drafting, data entry, customer support, scheduling and editing. And now AI does all of that faster, cheaper, without onboarding, without management, without attitude, and without sick days. And while companies still need seniors, the question is, where will those seniors come from when people who needed that first job to learn everything else were replaced? This is a pretty terrifying paradox because it creates a generation of students that are unsure what to study and what to apply for after graduating. Everyone's anxiety is at a peak, and I'm sure you can feel it around you. And the future just couldn't be any less clear. And it's not that young people don't want to work, it's that the starting line has moved so fast or disappeared entirely, and all that happened faster than it even takes to get said degree. And this brings us to 2024 and 2025, the years that could also be deleted from the history, and I don't think anyone would be against it. And look, I know it can sound depressing, but I just want to remind and assure you that there is hope, okay? Just wait till the end and I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. But for now, for a second, get ready. According to one recent analysis, since January of 2024, hiring for junior roles globally fell by 29%. I will actually stop here for a second to let you digest this number. Done? Okay, let's see what's waiting for us ahead. Okay, in some ways, the pattern is clear. I think the university degree will continue to have diminishing returns, with more and more companies stating that they will remove degree requirements whatsoever in 2026. And it's becoming clear that in rapidly moving fields like technology, where information and skills learned in school can quickly become outdated, it just won't matter that much. Also, I think that the average company size will shrink, but what will definitely be exploding is the number of new companies being incorporated. Honestly, in general, I don't think that we will be returning to anything close to what the old job market was. The world already redesigned itself, and just the speed of things changing is just too fast. I think what we will keep seeing is AI will keep replacing roles that we knew as junior roles. There will be more jobs based on freelance or contract basis with clear deliverables and outcomes. If your job currently requires you to mostly just be in the office and move your mouse around, well, I'm sorry, I don't know how to put it really, but you just might want to think about the risk. Then there will be a lot of careers coming out of distribution, whether it's social media or just any other way of getting people's attention. And for that reason, creator economy will be merging more and more with professional. Then self-employment will become more of a default, and credentials will hold less and less value in comparison to clear skills and deliverables. Okay, so first of all, if you're not in university yet, I'm not going to be telling you to not to study, but what I am going to tell you is that you just cannot simply go to university and just trust that a degree and the things you learn will just get you ahead in life. That's like completely gone. And what I think you should do is just take more responsibility of what you learn, of what you can build, create, how you can help, and how you can contribute. Otherwise, I can promise you, no one will care. Also, it doesn't matter if you're university, high school, already with a degree, you have to have a mindset of forever learning. You have to be quick to adapt. Don't take anything for granted. Nothing you see or you do will last. The lifespan of how we are used to doing things is just shrinking rapidly. The first to adapt is the first to win. If before you had to compete with people from your city, now you have to compete with everyone globally and AI. But my best bet is that you just become independent. And I'm not talking about just dropping everything and just starting your own business. Now there's just so much information and so many different and safe ways to start your own thing instead of being completely dependent on your job that can basically just vanish with a new ChatGPT or Google Gemini update. The world just no longer rewards obedience, it rewards autonomy. And maybe the most stable career you can start building today is the one you actually build yourself.